Hey everyone, what's going on? Phoenix here. Today we are doing, finally, my guide to enlightenment. In order to enlighten, you have to be level 275. You have to have every single luminance aura from Nalakana and one of the seers, the seer of your choice. And you have to be master rank in a society. Those are the three requirements. On top of that, you have to have pack space, which I'm going to struggle with, but we're going to get there. You have to have basically enough pack space so that every single thing that you're wearing can come off into your main pack. The other thing that's important to keep in mind is that any luminance you have left over, so I have 10,000, is going to get wasted. It's just going to be lost. You don't carry it over. The other thing that's important to keep in mind is that any experience augmentations that you might have, infuse life magic, any of these things, you're going to keep them through enlightenment, and you don't have to have all of them in order to enlighten. So that's very important. One final thing is that if you have the skill credits from enlightenment, you don't lose them if you enlighten. And on top of that, you don't have to have them to enlighten. Now, before you enlighten, you're going to want to do a couple of things. You're going to want to gather up some experience items or luminance items so that when you hit 200, you can immediately get a ton of luminance. And you're going to want to pre-flag for luminance. So when you are still level 275, you can talk to Nalakana and flag for the luminance quest. You can go complete the quest, I have it somewhere in here, and grab Battle Lord Gregor's Minozome. I've got a video on that, go check it out if you need to see that. And then as soon as you hit 200 after enlightenment, you can hand this in and immediately become flagged for luminance to start turning in luminance flagging items, or just start running luminance quests again. In terms of things to save, the way I view enlightenment now is there's two ways to do it. The first way is if you do not have any vassals, you're going to want to gather up a lot of quest items that have fixed experience. So that's things like matron pincers, I believe Mouth P. There's a few other ones like the Shadow Stone, things like that. Or you can do that on alternate characters and get things that share in a fellowship. So once again, that's matron pincers, the Shadow Stone, like I said. You can watch my stream that I did for Phoenix's second enlightenment because I did it that way in that video. But the way that I found is better is if you have a level 275 vassal. So I have Nomad sworn under me, and he's level 275, so I can use him to turn in quest items or ancient Empyrean or ancient Philatic trinkets to get all the way back up to level 200 without turning in anything on your main character. And because of that, the only thing that I have gathered on Fell Seroth for this enlightenment is shards of the Curator of Torment's Mask. So Rinthid Tentacle Weapons shards, I have probably 60. I don't know, my packs are a literal disaster. So I probably have 60 on me, let's just say that. So those are the couple of ways for enlightenment. And let's do it. It's time. We're going to pop our Viridian Rise Portal Gem. Okay, and then once you have all the requirements met, you're going to go to the center of the Viridian Rise by this awesome giant tree. And you're going to go in the Temple of the Font, where you will find the Font of Enlightenment and Rebirth. One last final thing before I forget to say it is that a really good thing to do before you hit enlightenment is to rebuff, because all of these buffs will stay on you. Another thing that's going to happen is you're going to be super overburdened because you've got all this stuff. So if you're planning on just playing through your character, you may want to mule quite a bit of what you have on you. Here we go. Would you like to become enlightened and revert your mortal form to its most basic form? Yes. Your available skill credits have been adjusted. You have risen to a higher tier of enlightenment. Font of Enlightenment and Rebirth tries to give you a tribute reset certification, so that's kind of messed up on my part because I didn't have the... Oh, I did have pack space. I guess it's because of the burden. I know that's kind of like a known bug, so that does happen. And then you have achieved the second level of enlightenment. And then from here, you can go to any of the towns. I'm just going to hit /AH. And then you can swear to whoever you want to swear to in order to give pass up, which is going to be pretty sweet. We're going to start handing some stuff in. See what happens. Immediately level 64. I didn't even hit the loyalty rare because I'm not paying attention. 76, 83, 89, 93, 97, 100. You can see how this goes pretty quickly if you have this type of turn-in. And the other thing that you can do is you can, as soon as you get some experience, you can hit leadership and loyalty. All right, so 103. Oh, I didn't even pop the leader rare. I knew I was supposed to do something. There it is, Monarch's Crystal. 115, 120, 124, 128, 132, 135, 140, 143, 145. Free trip to the Releveling Casino. This is where it gets a little bit more painful. But we're basically going to just hand in Gems of Worth on a level 275 character, which is no match. I popped a loyalty rare and a leadership rare to get the maximum pass up. And then we're basically just going to hand in Philaticate and Empyrean trinkets until we get Fell Seroth to level 200. So there was a level 100 million experience. You're now level 146. And we'll probably fast forward through a large portion of this. We're almost there. One thing I'll recommend with these trinkets is if you don't already have it, go to your configure keyboard and bind something to give selected object to target. And then if you click on the NPC and then the item and then use that keybind, it'll just give it and you don't have to keep dragging things. Or you could use Verendi item tool. So close, we're going to get there with this pile of trinkets. I've had to go back and restock a couple of times. I think it probably took me 300 trinkets total to get from about 150 to 200. That's with using some rares. So it's definitely, you need a lot of stuff, but I think this is the easiest option. It's certainly the easiest on your pack space. There we go, 200. And now we'll switch off of Nomad. We don't need him anymore. And then now that I'm level 200, I can head back to Asheron's castle. Now we can turn in our Battle-Roared Gregor's Minizome. Okay, so if she tells you this, you just have to talk to her first. It's really funny. She's like, you've already done this. I have no other reward to offer you. And then she is like, it's nice to meet you. So anyway, hand her the Minizome. After talking to her, she'll flag you for luminance. You'll get your 15,900 luminance. Do not forget for this part and for this whole part to use a 6% XP trinket. All right, now we can start handing in some shards of the Curator of Torment's Mask. Super important at this point to keep track of how much luminance you have. 201. 202. See, now it just starts to get bonkers when you've got this kind of stuff. Once again, keep an eye on your luminance so you don't go over the cap. I think we can hit in like 10. Okay, we can hand in 2 more. That's it. All right, we got back to 229. Not bad. That opens you up to doing everything else that you could want to do, which the next thing would be unlocking your Etheria slots. And yeah, that's about as good as Enlightenment can go, I think. And definitely the way that I would recommend doing it. But again, if you don't have a level 275 character, definitely take a look at my Phoenix Enlightenment 2 stream, where I used a much, not a worse method, but an older method that is good if this is your first time, you don't have vassals or an alternate character that's 275. So that's going to be it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed this guide. I'm definitely going to have to cut down a lot of this video. It'd be fun to edit, but yeah, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. We're getting pretty close to 1,000 subscribers. Just crossed 700, and I really want to hit 1,000, so I would appreciate the support. And thanks again. Bye.